sweet tea. Where's the tunes?
Right here.
That would.
Come with us on a journey into the unknown, the unexplained, and the unbelievable. We will test your senses and challenge your beliefs. A world where science and religion clash. Or do they? You will meet real people and hear real stories, but you will not believe. You will witness strange sights and hear strange sounds, but you will not believe. This is the New England Ghost Project. Welcome to the nightmare.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ghost Chronicles right here on TogiNet Radio. I am Ron Kolick, your host, and you are not with me, my co-host, the amazing gold standard in ghost hunting, the god of infrasound, Steve Parsons.
Who you are not.
I am not, nor do I pretend to be.
You wouldn't want to be.
Yeah,
It's such a burden.
it is. It is. You know, I listened to somebody podcast but they talk about you. It's like, oh my God, he's a god. I have to kiss his feet next time I see him.
When do you ever listen to podcasts?
I listen all the time.
I suppose you've got no choice now. You're the boss of Power.
Yeah, you know, that's annoying.
What on earth is that in the background tonight?
Ah, you can hear that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the phone, one of the many phones in this thing. It's like, who the hell? I don't know. Go away. I have like, that's the host line. I can't even get rid of it. Anyway, yeah, I've got like so many computer screens in front of me, and computer boards, of course, keyboards and mice. It's like, what the hell? Half the time I grab the wrong one. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Hmm.
I will tell you who.
Houston
I don't know who that was, but I can tell you who that was. That was Maureen Wood, who my co-host for this next show. Who I've told her 16 times that I have a show before her, and she doesn't have the contact information or whatever, and she panics because that's the way she is. Women.
So with all those screens, then is it like Mission Control in Houston?
It is. It's actually it is that way. It feels that way at times. I tell you that much. But yeah.
Right. So what you've been reading about this week?
How'd you know I was reading?
It's the same format every week. You read something and then you tell me all about it.
No, I don't do that.
Then I disagree, and we move on to the next subject.
You know, I almost had Marla come on the show and interview us because people, I mean, quite frankly, people ask about us a lot, and you don't know that, but they do. They want to know how we can work together.
Opposites attract. I don't know.
We are opposite in a lot of ways, but we're also alike in a lot of ways too, I would think.
We're not here to psychoanalyze one another, are we?
I don't.
I mean,
so.
the idea of a radio show is that we have a healthy debate, and that often means, and in fact, I think everybody should do it because it's very easy to get stuck into your own set of beliefs and, sort of paint yourself into a corner. Oh, I'm a skeptic, or I'm a believer. Sometimes I think it's really healthy to take an opposing point of view and a different perspective on things because it kind of makes you appreciate what the other person's saying or another guest is saying. And it also changes the way that you
think.
It opens your mind.
Yeah, it gives you more critical thinking.
So, you do hear, listeners will hear us occasionally out of our comfort zone, sometimes, contradicting what we position that we've taken for a long time or something we've said previously. And I think a lot more people should try that.
Yeah.
Argue from the other person's perspective.
And my, in my beliefs is that we're here to try to learn and understand everything. And sometimes that's the original things you were thinking about in the beginning that you believed in. Well, okay, well, there's something that's alternative, and sometimes it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know that from just the way that I've changed in my own beliefs in ghost hunting from the beginning,
Well,
where I was very much a
yeah.
novice.
Well, I mean, fortunately, my past is dead and buried.
Yeah, fortunately for you.
Yeah, it's under the patio. Um, but I mean, seriously, I have never been I think one of the key assets to be a good investigator of the paranormal is to never be frightened to change your mind, never be frightened to admit that you were wrong or that your previous held opinion was erroneous, and never be a when it comes to something like methodology, I've often said, don't ever be worried to nick a good idea. If somebody's doing something better than you, um, you know, and it's
Right,
demonstrably,
mostly do it to us.
yeah. I mean, if someone has improved upon a method or is genuinely doing something, they've innovated, then use it. Don't be so stuck in your ways as to think that what you do is the only way and the correct way.
Hmm.
And the
Yeah.
same goes for when you have an opinion or a belief. It's too easy to get sort of overly defensive about your position, and too easy to become dismissive of other people and their opinions. I think we need to listen to one another, and sometimes, as I said earlier, we need to consider the world from the other person's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I do like about your books, that you don't
Well,
say this is the only way to do something. You analyze everything and you put it up there. And which is great as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, I mean, can you imagine how arrogant it would be if of anybody that said, "Oh, mine's the only correct way," this is the only way things should be done.
They're
If you
out
don't,
there. They're out there, Steve. They talk that way.
yeah, they do. They do. Hopefully I don't. And I try not to.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, we all, occasionally you do meet a complete um fruitcake. Uh, and whilst you might try and understand their opinion, um, it's very, very, very difficult under some circumstances to consider what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because we're human. We're human. We meet strange people, and in this is a particular pastime that attracts the strange and the fringe.
Mhm.
We people who believe in Bigfoot, for example,
Here we go with that. Uh,
like
the
me.
the interesting thing, I don't,
That's this week. I may have changed my opinion in a few weeks' time.
I don't know. It's just that
I
boggles
don't
my.
know. It just fascinates me, this idea that, and we had a whole show about this.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, we
yeah,
did.
and I still,
Yeah, we
I'm
argued on that show.
yeah, I'm still digging. I'm still sort of ferreting around and like, well, am I wrong? Am I right? Could there be? I mean, common sense says, well, we've discovered everything. I mean, you
Well, we
can't
know
have,
we haven't discovered everything.
yeah, but I mean, you can't have something like North America with 270 million or probably another 10 million everyday people, um, and have something as large as a population of Bigfoot wandering about. But then I counter that by remembering my first trip to the States when um, because most of the time we were flying at night, but on this one occasion we left LA in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I think we brought this up last time, but that's all
Yeah.
right.
And I remember looking out the window thinking, Jesus, this is a big country. And flying over the forests and the mountains, and you think, you couldn't hide a Bigfoot in there. You could hide thousands of Bigfoots in there.
Yeah. The interesting thing about that is yes, we have that, but yet we're also the most observed planet by ourselves than anything. I mean, we have so many satellites and that are up there, not even just government ones, but commercial ones and everything else that is constantly looking at us and
Yeah.
uh, looking at things. I mean, how many times have people say, "Oh, I found this thing on Google Earth," or we're like, yeah, okay. But it's the way it is. We
Well,
have
I would say, yeah, you think, all right, we are, as you say, surveilled by innumerable satellites and systems, but we managed to lose MH370.
I think they found it now.
No, they haven't.
We're
And
talking.
it's not just MH370 either. We are constantly, take Alaska or take the Yukon up in Canada. They are constantly discovering plane crashes from
Yeah.
40, 50, 60 years ago.
Oh, look at the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, I'm not talking about the
But no, that's what I'm saying. There's a whole vast area there that we don't know everything about.
I'm dealing in provable. I was reading the other day they found an almost complete US bomber in the jungles of
Yeah, that was
and that was
Cambodia.
Cambodia, and that was only quite recently. Now, and we're looking for, and we say, oh, you can't have something like a Loch Ness monster or you can't have a Bigfoot. We can't even, stuff that we know is there. We can't find it.
I mean, there's a difference. First of all, well, as far as we talk about sea serpents here, we won't go into lake monsters right now, but the sea serpents, you can believe that anything is in that ocean. I mean, we're constantly finding new species, and the deeper we go. So anything could be in there, quite frankly, including Bigfoot if you wanted to.
Actually, not even the deep ocean. Here on the Welsh coast, I think a week ago, some creature washed up on the beach.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, hang on a minute, that shouldn't be here. That should be from thousands of feet beneath the ocean. Why is it swimming around in the Irish Sea where it's quite shallow?
Global warming, don't you know that?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, and then the nutters got in with, everything's global warming. The price of gas,
global warming.
We're flooded here at the moment, so that's global warming. Next week it'll be cold. That'll be global warming.
Yeah, I had computer difficulty this morning. That was global warming too.
To help you with that.
Oh, sorry. One of us must have said a word that triggered the Amazon device whose name you don't mention.
You don't mention? Oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because it'll start. They start.
It's like a woman, right?
Yeah, they start answering back. You watch these television programs now, and in between they have adverts, and on the advert it says, "For more information, use your smart speaker and say," and then they say it, and then of course every smart speaker in the kingdom is going, "I'm sorry, I don't understand that." There's a friend of ours, and she's named her daughter. I might whisper it, Alexa. And I can imagine the chaos that cause. Hopefully, she'll have a brother called Siri.
What's the other one? There's another one too, Echo. But that's cool.
There's all manner of them now.
Yeah, but that's Amazon, I think. But yeah, Pararex is actually on.
Actually, I can say Alexa all alike because you can change the name. Mine is a longer word that begins with C and ends in omputer.
I got it.
I got it, like Star Trek, like
Yep.
Yeah. So I called mine, yeah.
What did they call the one on 2001 Space Odyssey? Was it computer?
Hal.
No.
Hal.
Hell, that's right. Hell, that's right.
Open the pod bay's doors. No, bugger off.
That's my yeah, that's my I ain't gonna
See,
say that.
you know,
Yeah. That's my
Hal was like, really, I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that. You see, if I was Hal, it'd be like, nah, bugger off.
bugger off. Yeah, I don't know. There's so much weird stuff.
Well, the big
But yeah,
thing over
as far
here
as
now at the moment
Bigfoot,
is,
I mean, as far as Bigfoot, I get it. I mean, I totally get it. I know how vast the country is, but we're talking about these creatures being seen, within civilization. So it's not like it's the deepest, darkest Africa.
but they
It's
are seen. They're videoed, and there's some really, really good quality video now.
uh,
And it
who's
can't
the
all be
one that
made
said you can't trust any video or pictures taken today? Someone told me that once. I believe
That
it
was
was on
me.
the show, in
That
fact.
was me.
Yeah.
And it
But
shows you how gullible I am.
but
Yeah,
but
don't
I
do as
I
I
wanna
do.
believe in Bigfoot, so these are incredible.
Yeah, don't do as I say, do as I say.
I don't believe in orbs, but these are incredible.
Oh, don't.
Uh,
The orb's making a comeback over here at the moment.
yeah, I know a lot of things are. It's so sad. Uh, I think that, that's part of the thing with paranormal. I mean, it's really changing in ways,
Not
uh
though, is it? It's like a. I'm going to swear in a minute. It's like a hamster wheel. It just goes round and round. You know, first we had EMF, then the orb, then do you remember the
yeah.
vortex? Remember the paranormal vortex?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. Well, now so they get debunked, and then everybody goes, "Whoa, 99% of them are debunkable, but 1% of them aren't." And then they're forgotten about for a few years while they go off and chase something else. And then they resurface. Like did the people not look back through the history of psychical research and paranormal research and go, yeah, they sorted that out in the 1980s.
Mhm.
But no, they don't. They're like, oh, I've made this amazing discovery. Whenever I take a picture and ask for these little blobs of light appear, and they must be paranormal because I can't explain them.
You can see the branching off though, where ghost hunting was really hot. You now have, Bigfoot's really coming in. UFOs are like really hot.
Oh, UFOs. I think
Yeah,
UFOs are the big
number
thing.
one. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and then you even have like the haunted collectors. Like those are like really raging now. Everybody wants to, at first it was collecting Ouija boards, but now it's like haunted collectors, there's like everybody's a haunted collector. And
Well,
so it,
and haunted museums.
yeah, well, that's part of the haunted collector.
Yeah, we've got. I mean, I live basically, right on the edge of the UK, a long way from anywhere sensible. And a year ago,
At a
uh,
nuclear range.
just about,
Oh, good, good, good.
um,
I won't have to worry about you then.
about a year ago, somebody, in an old chapel, oh, we'll open a haunted museum. Now, of course, I subscribe to their emails and I get
Yeah.
regular. And like all of these, they start off with, we've got a few haunted objects that look like we've, visited a charity shop or a thrift store and collected. And there's always a rocking chair. There's always an old pram.
You just have to make up a story with them. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, they were hot on eBay when eBay was really hot.
There's
You
always
know
a
that.
few dolls. And
Yeah.
then now they're into seances, they're into tarot reading, because they have to branch out to keep
People coming.
an audience and to keep people coming and keep people paying the bills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it's things have changed. It's even in the ghost hunting. Like very seldom when the original ghost hunters you ran into like demons, but then it eventually everybody's been running into demons. They're all over the place, and you have the demonologists everywhere and all this other stuff. So it's really, I don't know. Everybody wants to something new, something edgy, something different. Oh, speak about collectible items. I know a gentleman that just purchased um, Hans Holz's typewriter.
Is it haunted?
Oh, I don't know. It's Hans Holz's. Does it have to be?
Well, I mean, his daughter's still doing the rounds, isn't she, Alexandra?
Yeah. Do you know how much this little baby cost? An
Uh,
old-fashioned typewriter.
no.
$750.
What is that the current price that they
That's what
paid?
they paid for them. That's what they paid for it.
Well, that seems a little bit cheap.
Cheap for
Yeah,
a
I mean,
typewriter?
$750
Yeah.
for. I mean, yeah. Think of the. Okay, we might disagree about Holzer, but he was highly influential, and most of his books were probably written on that typewriter.
Do you
I
really know that?
No, but I would have thought that one of
Just
the.
because it came from Alexander doesn't necessarily mean that she
Okay,
didn't pick it up in
yeah,
a thrift store
yeah,
and say,
yeah.
"Oh, yeah, this is my uncle's."
Sorry, I was a bit slow there. You didn't tell me that second bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
You-
that's the thing. There's no
Had
provenance to it, really.
had it come from his secretary and said, "Oh, he left this here," but yeah.
And so far after the fact, too. So it's not
Well,
like, I don't know. Whatever.
well,
To
you
each
see,
their own. Whatever you like, that's fine.
yeah, do your own thing.
So the second part of this question is that we talked about how we work together on the radio shows and the podcasts. They also wanted to know about the events as well. And I don't think we've ever had a problem on the events. Have you? Do you?
No, we've always worked quite well as a team.
Yeah, I thought we've done
I
well.
mean, I think my favorite event that we've done together was
Oh.
when we were sick and had to be locked in the office.
I knew you were going to say that.
No, I mean, no, being serious as we come up to the ad break, I don't think you have to necessarily be twinned kindred spirits.
Right.
Um,
I'd rather not, quite frankly.
I work with mediums and I work well with mediums. I know you do too. I think it's just having a mutual respect for one another and a desire to, you're bringing something to the table to the participants audience that's different than me. And it's having the respect of, it goes back to what I said before about just shut up and listen and let the other person, because you might pick up something, you might learn something yourself. So when you're doing your talk or when you're running your particular part of it, I'm actually watching and learning along with the participants. And if you come up with something good, then I'll nick it. I mean, God knows you've nicked enough stuff off me.
I'll ignore that.
I've seen your presentations.
Bite me. One of the most interesting events we did, I thought, it was one of the spirit quests, and it was the psychic and science ghost hunt. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, you headed Team Science, and I headed Team Spiritual, whatever the hell it was.
I also remember the Team USA versus Team UK and how.
That was cool too. Yeah,
and how you cheated.
Now.
People can look back
because you didn't think of it doesn't mean it was cheating.
What, you took all the equipment?
Well,
we had left was a torch.
Team USA.
All you left Team UK was, sorry, America, flashlight.
Yeah.
That's all we had left.
Well, that's all you're believing anyways when you do your ghost under the flashlight. So I just gave you what you
can get. You can get a lot of information from a maglite.
Okay, yeah, as you demonstrated at the lighthouse.
Correct. But we did a scientific experiment, didn't we? Because they said, it is often said that spirits like red light. So we had a red light, a blue light, a red lensed maglite and a blue lensed maglite, and we invited the spirits to choose their favorite color and communicate via their favorite lens. It passed a few minutes anyway.
Yeah, it certainly did. That's another thing that's kind of like disappeared, because that was really hot.
The maglite, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't work on the LED bulbs.
Yeah, that was like, that
And of
was
course,
remember how it ran its course? I mean, that was a
yeah,
hot
well,
thing
you
at one
see,
time.
I mean, there's a reason it ran its course is because about 2000 Mag switched all production away from the tungsten, the standard conventional bulb, to the LED bulb. Well, of course, the tungsten bulb generates
Heat.
more heat in a different way, and so it doesn't work as well with mag lights. It'll only really work well with the older mag lights. So of course, unless you've got an older mag light, you're screwed.
Hmm.
Spirits can't talk to you anymore.
Yeah, that's because they don't know about this newfangled inventions they have now. See, that was a big thing too. Remember, you used to explain things to the spirits when you. Well, I don't know if you did it over there, but that was a big thing around here, and you would explain it, like because if they were like in 1800, they'd never seen a recorder before.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
you would explain
yeah,
things to them.
yeah,
Now they don't even do that. They just talk and they say, "Okay, speak to it." Yeah, it's like, okay,
yeah.
cut that little bit out of there, didn't you?
And you don't also another thing you don't see very often anymore is trigger objects.
Oh, there's a trigger object. It's triggering the brick.
Yeah, trigger objects seem to be not as popular.
Yeah, which is a shame, I think, anyways.
Oh, I mean,
And if you go ahead.
it's removed the creativity because now people become their own trigger objects, don't they? With the Estes experiment and similar ones.
Which nobody really understands, by the way.
Well, it's just dressing up, really. And America is very, my experience of America is everybody's got their own dressing up box. Fortunately, I'm glad to see the end and the demise of naked ghost hunting.
Well, no, there's still a guy in the West Coast here is doing it.
Yeah, but he's very much in the minority.
Hmm.
And of course, with that cold weather you're having over there, I bet he's very much in the
Yeah, I bet
well,
your girls get a little nippy.
yeah, he's probably dead by now.
I don't know. But yeah, that was trigger objects. That's to me that still has value, especially if you have a place where objects have been moved. To me, believed to be moved, and that's definitely I think worth looking at. Anyway, we do have to take a break. We'll go continue more about ghost hunting when we come back. And you're listening to Ghost Chronicles International with Steve Parsons and Ron Kolick right here on TogiNet Radio and ParaX Radio. And we're all good podcasts go. And I brought to you by, what am I brought to you? Oh, Circles of Wisdom, 386 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts, the Glant Messier Family Law Group, 50 High Street, North Andover, Massachusetts, and our very, very, very good friends on Ghost Chronicles Radio on Patreon. We'll be right back after the following messages.
Do you have a paranormal event, book, or something else you want people to know about? Then why not advertise it on Ghost Chronicles Radio? With over 150,000 downloads a month, get your message out to an audience that's interested in the subject. We have a plan at a cost that fits your needs. For more information, contact Ron Kolick at anyghostproject@comcast.net or call 978-455-6678.
Located in Illinois, there lies a sleepy little town where nothing is a common occurrence.
You going to that party in town tonight?
Heck yeah! I only turned 18 once.
That is until the night of celebration.
Where the hell is she? Oh no. No, 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 Jessica!
What?
the creators of Shadowhunters. Bite me! Comes a tale of primal terror and grindcore mayhem. Shadowhunters! Kill, Jessica! Kill!
Oh, are you reading me? Come in. Hello? Greetings from the Shadow, and welcome to Shadowzine. My name is Jeff Belanger. I'm an author, podcaster, and explorer of the unexplained. For 30 years, I've been investigating the paranormal, UFOs, monsters, and things that bump in the night. Lately, you may have noticed how major TV networks and even social media networks have been pushing our favorite subject back into the shadows. I say good. That's why I launched Shadowzine, a monthly underground publication that covers your favorite topics in depth by some of the leading writers and researchers out there. If you're looking for 30-second TikTok clips, go somewhere else. If you're ready for a deeper dive, put down your phone and pick up Shadowzine. You can't find it in stores. This is old school print. Head to shadowzine.com and be part of the underground revolution. That's shadowzine.com, and I'll see you in the shadow.
And welcome back to the second half of the first half of tonight's 2 Hours Ghost Chronicles Mayhem. This is the international edition because we are international.
Steve, can you do me a super big favor? And can you talk a little bit? No, that was a call from my sister's daughter, and she's in hospice right now, so I really have to make a quick call. So
Okay.
Could you handle
myself for a while?
Yeah, pick, what's in the news, whatever.
Oh, well,
I'll be right back. It'll only take me a second. Sorry about that.
No problem. Right, so you're stuck with me now. So welcome back to the second half of the first half of tonight's 2 Hours of Ghost Chronicles Radio with just me for the next few minutes, and kind of thrown into the deep end there. So actually, might be an opportunity to promote my favorite hobby horse relating to paranormal investigation, which is it worth doing training? What's the value of it? What's the purpose of training to be a paranormal? Can you train a paranormal investigator? I'll echo Jeff Belanger. I say good. Yes, you can. And yes, we do in an organization which has been mentioned on this radio show a number of times, which is ASAP, the Association for the Scientific Study of Anomalous Phenomena, based here in the UK. If you want to join, you can join worldwide, and we have a training program for our members, which is predominantly, in fact, almost universally held online. So head over to www.asap.ac.uk, find out more about it there, and I'd break over.
There you go. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I just said, but anyway, before we were talking about the different forms of, ghost hunting in general, I think more than the forms of things, and we're talking about how various equipment's ways of doing things have kind of like gone by the boards from the original. And one of the things you were talking about was trigger objects. Yeah, that's what it was. Just before the break,
we were discussing if they're viable.
So, what is your take on that?
Trigger object. Well, again, it depends on the context, and you've highlighted that before the break, where if you're going to do, is it perhaps relevant in cases where objects have been described as being moved. If the witness says he put something down, it disappears, or I put it there and it turns up there, then hey, well, why not? But like a lot of these experiments, I think the important thing is um, to develop some form of controls. You can't just simply scatter things around and expect them to yeah, or to understand anything from it. So what if it moves? Big deal. Um, I think you've got to have some form of control.
Hmm.
That might be in the form of a camera, something along those lines, in order to observe the object to see if the movement is in fact abnormal, or to see if somebody just wanders along and picks it up and wanders off with it, which does happen.
I like the idea, and I've used it quite a few. Is if you do have a trigger or experience, is you kind of lock off the room, if you know what I mean. You kind of like seal it in a certain way so that uh, you can't be interfered with. And you still videotape it. Don't get me wrong with it, or record it one way or the other. Uh, but
Well, I think you don't have to um make things overly complicated.
yeah, but it's simple enough to do. I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
it's
that's what I mean. You're not looking for overly complex controls, but
right,
simple controls where you can say, "Hey, the object is moved," and we can show by the controls we've put in place that that movement does not have any normal means.
right. Like we brought it up before, but Ann Winsper's investigation of the statue that moved in the antique shop.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one way to explain that type of thing. Uh, but to me, the if you're going to have something, it's not that like it like moved a few centimeters. I'm sorry, that could be quite frankly anything.
Why? Why?
If
Just because something doesn't move a long way. I mean, we had this issue.
what? No, no. But wait a minute. Let me finish my sentence. In that, if you've gone to a place and they have objects that moved in one place and they appear somewhere else, then that's what I might consider what would be looking for. You would be looking for that dramatic change versus uh, just a minor movement on the object. But no, go ahead,
Well,
continue.
what you're saying there is you're actually describing a completely different phenomena. The phenomena of an object arriving or departing suddenly
Hmm.
is in a port or a
Right.
deport.
Yeah.
And what we're actually talking about is object movement during, for example, at Borley Rectory, things moved, and I remember my time almost haunted for many reasons, but not least of which because there was there was this sort of mindset that if things didn't, if something moved but it didn't move very far, then it wasn't really worthy of consideration. But sometimes, if something moves 1 inch in 8 hours and there is no explanation, surely it's got to be just as interesting as something that, leaps about or disappears entirely. Because if you can't explain it, if there is no obvious, reasonable explanation, then you're faced with other possibilities that you
Yeah.
need to
The
consider.
question is, though, how much movement is required to make you really think about it? I mean, if it just moved a centimeter, well, not even a centimeter, centimeters, say a millimeter or 2 millimeters, then is that really worth even noting?
Yes, because in the same way that science notes things like electrons that appear and disappear, that is a big deal when they made that discovery that sometimes electrons aren't there anymore. They seem to have gone somewhere else. Um, yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's 1 millimeter in 1 hour or whether it's 1 mile in 1 hour. If
Mm.
if there is no discernible explanation for that motion, then you you can't dismiss it just because it's small.
I think in a lot of cases you can though, because
No,
there's
I
too
don't.
many
I don't.
natural occurrences that would move
Well,
an
no,
object that minutely.
well, then you have to eliminate them rather than just simply say, "I'm not interested. It's not big enough for me."
I get it. I get it. I understand
No,
that too.
size matters.
Yeah, I know, but still, it just to me, it just like there's so many doors that uh, possibilities that
No,
it.
I mean, yeah, we can look at, for example, sound,
Mhm.
because when you go to some of the events where sound is a factor, then it is possible with very when a sound is particularly small or quiet, faint or quiet, or very short duration, then realistically, it doesn't matter um, what you do with by analyzing it or examining it by a recording. You can't really ever hope to um, gain any additional information. Similarly, I mean, I recall a case, and I've mentioned it before, whereby we encountered probably the largest ever temperature drop inside a building that we've ever experienced.
Oh,
But it only ever happened once. Um, and the family said they had had similar experiences of a sudden, very dramatic change in temperature,
interesting.
but but it only happened once every X number of years.
Yeah.
So y- you realistically you could apart from other than having complete access to the location for a very long period of time, uh,
Years.
which was utterly unworkable and impractical. Then there are some phenomena where you say, I much as it might be interesting, realistically speaking, there is nothing we can do to um,
But okay,
gain any more information.
was your dramatic temperature drop in the same location where the homeowners or whoever the client?
Exactly. It was, and we didn't know about theirs beforehand.
Okay,
Uh,
so then
We're
there is
measuring
a way
temperature
because
for,
you
for
could have
different reasons.
put a temperature tag there, and
Yes, you
that's
could.
yes.
You could. Yeah, you can now. This took place
Oh,
20
okay, yeah,
something
back
years
in the
ago
early days.
before,
Yep,
yeah, before data loggers and
yep.
the like. Um, it would be more feasible now.
Mhm.
Uh, but unfortunately, this was in the days before we had the technology, which has allowed us to do things that previously we couldn't do.
That's the amazing thing. We do have the technology to do a lot of interesting things, but nobody really wants to use the proven like technology. They rather use these devices, whatever somebody's made in their garage or whatever, and instead,
Well,
which
that
is so
might be
sad.
because most of the garage made internet bought ghost hunting devices essentially don't work to find ghosts. They're not intended to. They're not designed to. They're sold to.
Mhm.
Promoted as. I mean, you see, we've talked about them to death. Um, but if you're going to measure something, and this is covered in ghostology and in the ASAP course,
Yep.
if you're going to use something to measure stuff, then use the right piece of equipment. An EMF meter is designed to measure electromagnetic fields. It's not designed as a ghost communicator.
Oh,
Um,
tell that to goes
yeah, I
pro.
mean, oh, no, yeah. I think we've got more.
That's
I
my
think,
favorite one.
yeah. I don't think it's tell it to the ghost hunters. I think, or the ghosts. I think it's sorry to the ghosts. I think it's tell it to the ghost hunters because they're the ones that have come up with this notion. I've seen again. the risk of repetition. I've seen people talking to on the back of a lot of the solid state digital video cameras. There is a little tiny red LED that
Yep.
flashes to show that it's working and it's writing to the internal memory. I've seen people chatting away happily to them.
Mm. I was listening to that podcast, Cat in the Shadows, with Tim Kerr. Kev Kerr was on, and he brought up one thing that he did an experiment where he I forget what device he used. Unfortunately, I can't remember, but he basically talked to basically an ice cube or something, and was getting responses. So that was his little experiment to. I did try to get him on the show, but he hasn't responded at all. By the way, just a side note. But yeah, yeah. I mean, that goes to show you. Yeah, we all look at it automatically. We jump that it's a ghost talking to you, but is it really? That's the thing.
Well, there is that automatic presumption or no desire for it to be a ghost. Because if you say, if you can hear my voice make a noise, at the same moment that a noise for a million and one different reasons happens,
Hmm.
it isn't, oh, what made that noise? It's thank you, ghost. Can you do it again?
Hmm.
Or they, so if you don't look, you'll never find. And if you don't want to look, or if you don't want to find, then don't look, just accept. And that's what a lot of investigators tend to do because it's reinforcing their belief in the paranormal.
Yeah, I mean that.
Actually, by being able to understand phenomena and explain things actually is what reinforces my belief that in the paranormal because once you've looked at all of the possibilities and you're then left perplexed and scratching your head and you know that you've looked at all of the possibilities or as many as you can conceive of and you've looked at them scientifically and objectively and critically and it's still an anomaly, then it's a much more interesting anomaly. And it strengthens, my belief that there is something worth looking for.
Mhm.
The fact I can debunk 99% or uh, find an explanation for
That's a big word.
99% of the phenomena means that, I become very focused on the 1% and I'm very much more interested and it reinforces my belief. That's not my belief in ghosts, by the way, either. That's not an answer to the question that I never answer.
I know that. Uh, it's that's the thing people ask me all the time. Do you believe in ghosts? I don't really know, and I've had so many experiences that I have difficulty explaining that. You think I would avidly say, "Yeah, this is a ghost. This is the spirit of some dead person," but I can't tell you that. I can tell you the experiences I've had. I can absolutely tell you what I've seen, what I've heard, only in my perspective. Okay, but I can't tell you that that's a ghost or anything else. That's because I'm not sure that I believe it is. Nobody knows what I believe personally. Uh, and I've always kind of kept it that way because all I do is relay my experiences so that people can take them for what they want. If they want to try to give me an explanation or whatever, that's fine. But yeah, that's it's hard. I mean, it's so hard because the paranormal is built on personal experiences.
It's entirely built on personal
Yeah.
experiences. And, you know, um, your perspective on them changes because when I first, I started to do this as a youngster with a desperate desire to see a ghost because they sounded like they were cool and they were fun, and I wanted to see a ghost. It
Mhm.
was it was a fairly simple desire, I thought then, um, and so I would say that as a youngster, I was after reading, some of the books about how the great masters of ghost hunting had gone about sitting on the stairs in an ancient manor house with a flask of brandy and a blunderbuss, waiting for the ghost to appear. I thought, well, that sounds remote. I'll give it a go. I'll see a ghost. So I was probably much more inclined to, well, in fact, I was very inclined to believe in the phenomena because it seemed an easy thing to validate and to understand. But then when, the more you look, the more you see other perspectives on it, and you realize the complexities involved in trying to well, was it a ghost? Was that experience, instead of just blindly going, oh wow, that was paranormal. And I think people are too credulous and not, I think they're frightened of being critical. I think when you get a group of people, I think there is this idea that, you don't want to be the one that stands out and go, well, actually, I think it was the plumbing. And if you try that on social media, you'll just get
You're
hounded to death. You
crushed.
know, it's like being an ICE agent in Minnesota. You're not gonna, you're not very welcome.
Yeah,
Uh,
the thing I like to do more than anything is to investigate a place just with my team, with really nobody else there, because you don't have whether subconscious or your consciously pressure from whoever's there, whether it's the public or a client or something else. You're there to do what you believe you're supposed to do, and that's that's good. You don't have any interference at all. But when you have other people around, it kind of makes it more difficult, I think.
oh, it
Anyways,
does. I mean, in an ideal world, I would be on my own, but that
yeah,
that leaves me open to doubts
so
and
much,
questions about the
so much.
experiences that
Yeah.
I have.
Hmm.
I was asked it on
And
the
just for the
training session.
safety thing too, as well.
Yeah, well, I was asked at the training session on Sunday, how many people would you advocate to go on a ghost hunt as
Yeah,
part of the investigation? And I said, as few as possible, not less than two. But the fewer people you take, the more you can
control.
contain and
Yeah,
control
yeah.
the the information. Whereas if you have 20 or 30 people who've all paid, a few dollars to be
Oh,
there,
those are the tough ones.
yeah, they are tough gigs. Well, actually, they're not. They're dead easy because
Yeah, because
people,
they're entertainment more than anything.
yeah, and people, there is, it's a very different animal. In
Right.
fact, I do still enjoy the public access ones because it
I
does
do
allow
too. Don't
me.
get me wrong. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it allows me kind of to explore the psychology of the
Yeah, I
investigation,
know. That's the best part.
and you can have some real fun.
Yeah, yeah. But learning fun as well.
Well, I always call it edutainment.
Yeah, it works agitating. But
I'm edutating you.
mm,
No, that's not right, is it? I'm edutaining you. Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
sounded right, but that's all right.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get the
Yeah,
drift.
it's
As
all
we
been advice.
heading towards the end of the show.
Thank God. Hey, are you going to stay up and listen to me on?
Oh yes, put your plug in. I forgot about that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, 8 o'clock tonight Pacific time, which
Mhm.
is stupid o'clock Eastern time, and 8 o'clock in the morning here in the UK.
Yeah, 3 o'clock, I believe here.
In about 8 hours and 4 minutes time, I will be on Coast to Coast AM.
I will be asleep,
But
sound
fortunately,
asleep.
it's available to download afterwards.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
The only, do you know,
Who's the host
probably,
on there now? I don't even
I
remember.
don't know actually. I haven't been on for a few years.
Yeah.
So I genuinely don't know. But one of the strange things that Coast to Coast always do, and hopefully they're not listening, is they ask you to submit a list of
Oh,
questions.
I hate that.
And it was like, nah. So I wrote back and said, well, no, just ask me anything. I don't care. If I can answer it, I'll answer it. If not,
Mm.
and they went, no, 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 you've got to send us a list of questions.
Yeah, they have their protocols or whatever.
I was like, okay, that's
Did you do
California.
it?
Huh?
Did you do it?
What, the list of questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. So
You know what? I think when I was on it, I think one of the co-hosts was Jason Hawes, I believe. I think.
I hope not, because he blocked me on social media, and
Well, that's good. It's
I
good
still to
time.
this day don't know why. But no, I genuinely don't know who the host is. I could look.
Oh,
I
he was
could
a
Google it.
co-host. He was a co-host at that time.
Yeah, I
I
could
can't
Google
remember
it
though
now.
who it was. So it was a long time ago.
I haven't got time for me to Google it now, but there we
Yeah.
are.
Wow, you got that thing there. Just tell Alexa to who's the
Nah,
host of.
well, I'll find out in 8 hours.
Is it 8 hours?
It's in
Oh
8 hours
yeah,
time, yeah,
seems
because
closer.
yeah.
I guess.
There you go. We got a minute. Who's the show brought tonight by? Seeing as I'm on coast to coast in a little while, 8 hours.
Today's show is brought to you by Coast to Coast, featuring Steve Parsons tonight at 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time.
Midnight Pacific time.
Okay. We're also brought to you by Circles of Wisdom, 386 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. The Gallant Family Law Group, 50 High Street, North Andover, Massachusetts. My good friend Leslie Martin, positively brilliant Reiki infused candles on Etsy. I think I said that right, actually.
You did
And
the first.
our good friends on Patreon who are still waiting for Steve's thing, who support this show and help us bring it to you.
I can't find it now. I
Oh,
sent it. I'll do another one. Give us a week.
all right. So, anyways, yeah, we gotta go. Good night,
I'll
everyone.
send you an extract from coast to coast. How's that?
Ah, there you go. That's how can you beat that? Take care, everyone. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Good night. God bless.
From goalies to ghosties, long-leggedy beasties, and things that go bump